Okay, I'm going to talk about scripting today and how it can help uh, our kiddos learn to be more interactive with those around them. So, what is scripting? Basically, it's kind of what it sounds like. You create a model or a script for your students to help them initiate or respond to others because sometimes they have a really hard time with that. I've got two daughters that both suffer from selective mutism as part of their autism spectrum disorders, and it's gotten really bad over the past couple years. And so they both complain about being lonely, but when others talk to them, they can't answer back, and that makes the other people feel uncomfortable, and then ultimately results in them losing out on a lot of opportunities to have interactions. It is evidence based, and it's designed to increase interactions with others, which my girls would love. So, why does it help to use scripting? For someone on the spectrum, having an initiation or a conversation with somebody, especially getting it started, there's so many things that play in their brain that if they have a known script, it can just lessen the amount of brain energy they're trying to use, especially to first start a conversation. Um, and when they don't have to use so much brain energy, then they're able to um, go ahead and get started and increase their participation. Also, it's used for a wide range of ages. So all of the school kids that you work with would be able to use scripting. Research has demonstrated that when children with autism are taught social scripts through modeling, prompting, and reinforcement, their interactions with peers and adults increase. And it not only just shows an increase of their scripted interactions, but also shows an increase with their unscripted interactions as well. So as soon as they can increase using scripting, their unscripted interactions also increase. I know that working with ninth graders, um, a lot of the times they have a hard time asking for help. And the teachers where I've worked have always been really pushing. You're in high school now, you have to advocate for yourself, you have to tell us when something's going wrong. But most of my ninth grade physical science students, when they would get stumped, would say things to me like, I don't get it. And I would, as a teacher, would say, could you ask me a question? Because I can't help, I don't get it. But if you ask me a question, I can answer a question. And that was always very difficult for them to do. Well, for the kids on the spectrum, it's even worse. So for instance, I know if my daughter has a broken pencil or doesn't have her earbuds and she's supposed to listen to a video, um, she's not going to do anything. She won't get up to sharpen her pencil. She won't tell anyone that she needs to sharpen her pencil. She'll just sit there very quietly and politely, trying to make sure no one notices her, but she won't even be able to ask for help. So in 2010 at Caldwell College, there was a study done, and it was teaching adolescents how to describe a problem and request assistance during vocational tasks. But I know that as being a teacher, that these could be done in school as well. So they taught three scripts as this study. One for if something was missing, one for if something was broken, and one for if something was the wrong size. But it could easily be translated into how to get any student some help when they're on assignment. Um, if they don't know how to start, they could ask, what do I do first? If they don't understand something in the instructions, they can learn to say, I don't understand this part of the instructions. Can you explain it to me? And then I would also have some that would just get finished really fast. And it wasn't because they were trying to rush, but also they hadn't actually finished the assignment. They just had confusion and didn't realize that they had more to do. So when they get finished, the first couple people to get finished should probably come say, can you look over my assignment and see if I missed anything? And then also if they're just having a hard time. So I taught a lot of math-based physics, and so sometimes them seeing an example would totally help. So if they could ask me for an example for the type of problem they're having with, that would help. So for the intervention procedures, basically it depends on what you want to help them to do. But then prompt fading is always used, or they call it script fading here. So when you give them a script, you start pulling back some of the words of the script, and then they ultimately memorize it that way. So um, with my daughters, they definitely need scripts to learn how to start or be included in a small conversation. Just being able to answer when someone says, "Hi, how are you?" would be a big deal to opening doors for them for conversation. Also, another thing I noticed is they have a young women's group at church, and they're frequently offered cookies. And my girls would love a cookie, but they just don't respond. And so, if they learned to say something specific every time they saw that treat or that cookie, then it would really help them and the people who are offering and trying to be really kind to them as well. So, for a couple of conversations for my 13-year-old daughter Abby, if she could answer to, "Hi Abby, how are you today?" She could say, "Fine, thank you. How are you?" That would really help her out a lot. Um, you'll notice that in the video, she was not able to do that successfully in our small training time. So what I'm going to do is um, I'm going to try to catch her off base a little bit with it and do it as more natural. So in the morning when she wakes up, I'm going to say, "Hi, Abby, how are you today?" And she's going to tell me she's sad because every day she says she's sad. And I'm going to correct her then and say, "Can you say fine, thank you, how are you?" And if it's in a natural flow, she'll be able to do that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep doing that over and over and over again with her until it's just a real routine. I'm going to sneak that in throughout the day. And then I'm going to hold off on number two for a while because we're still working on number one. But after that, my girls can't take a compliment. And they get complimented on their hair and their drawing ability all the time. So usually when they get a compliment, they frown and look away, which then repels the people around them trying to give them a compliment. So they really need to learn to say thank you when they hear a compliment. And then the other thing is, I think I said before that when they're offered a treat, they don't know how to take a treat. So I'm going to try to teach Abby that when she's presented with cookies, to say, "Yum, I love cookies." And then as you're watching the videos, you're going to see that she was unable to do that at first. So what I did was then I brought in her little brother Leo, and he was able to say, "Yum, I love cookies," and he liked that because he got a cookie when he said it. He ended up with a stack of cookies right before bedtime time, lucky for him. And Abby really wanted that too. So she was unable to talk at all when she knew we were recording until I just changed the conversation to something she wanted to talk about. So we started talking about her cats, which she loves, and then you'll see that I changed the script for her to say "yum" or to say "I love cats," and she was able to do that. And then from there, she was able to say "I love cookies." She never was able to say the word "yum," which is fine. We'll just get rid of it. It's not working for her. Um, so that's what you'll see in the videos. Uh, so right now she's just getting started, so you don't see a whole lot of success in the videos, but I think that we can get this put in a natural way and practice throughout our days to where at church, hopefully it'll become second nature to do some of these scripts. So on the data collection, you're just going to collect your baseline data to begin with and put it on a graph. And then you're going to take, when you're doing a session or when you're watching your students try to interact and you're in a period of data collection, if you just take a counter and click it, like a golf counter or any type of counter and click it, and you're just going to count the number of interactions, both initiations and responses, and both scripted and unscripted. And that way, then you can graph your data to see how your intervention is working. Oh, I am. Come have a seat. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice like when people at church say hi to you or anytime people say hi to you, what you're supposed to say back, because you always have a hard time responding. So if you look at the script there, I'm going to say, "Hi, Abby, how are you doing?" And then you're going to say, what are you going to say? Read it. Just read off the paper. Can you read off the paper? You say, "I'm fine. How are you?" Abby, can't you just say, "I'm fine. How are you?" All right, let's try something different. Can you say it? Yum, I like cookies. Abby.
Back to school is over at my bed.
Okay, Abby. Yum, I like cookies. Yum, I like cookies. Can you tell me about your cats over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What can you say about them?
My smalls.
They're your smalls?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like about them?
That.
What's that mean?
What she's doing.
What's she doing?
Being floof.
Being floof? And how does she be floof?
My cat gurgles.
Cat gurgles, the noises she makes? You like the noises she makes?
Yeah, and she's weird.
Yeah. You're doing just great, kiddo. Can you?
And feed you.
Hey, Leo.
Yum, I like cookies.
You have to wait till I give it to you, silly. There you go.
Yum, I like cookies.
That's right.
Can I have one?
You can have one. Yeah, go ahead and get yourself a cookie.
Thank you. Can we put it on YouTube?
Yeah, we can put it on YouTube. Wait, sit back down. Sit back down here. Can you put your cookie down for a second right there? Let's try something else. What if I give you this and then I show you this?
Yum, I like cookies.
Whoa, you knew the last word even though I had it covered up. Yeah, you can take another cookie.
Thank you.
Put your cookie down for a second. We're going to try something else. Okay, can you put that in your pile? In your pile of cookies.
Yum, I like cookies.
There you go. Have another one.
Thanks, I
Yep.
love cookies.
All right.
One more?
I don't
As
know.
well as none.
I don't know. What happens if I hand you these cookies? What do you say?
Yum, I like cookies.
Yes, you can have one now.
Oh, one more.
One more. All right. Thank you, Leo. Good night.
Good night.
Can you read this note?
No.
What if I give you a different note?
It smells like eggs.
I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Are you going to show this to them?
Maybe I should.
Why?
All right. Can you read this note?
Yeah. I like cats.
Good. Now how about this one? How about this one? Can you read this one?
But why would I say yum?
Just say it. Just read it. All you have to do is read it. You don't have to pretend like you're talking or anything. You just have to read it. What's it say? Okay, I have another one. Let's try this one. Can you do this one?
I like cookies.
Good. Get yourself a cookie. All right, how about this?
Do I just read what I see?
Read what you think you're supposed to say.
I like cookies.
Good job. Get yourself another cookie. All right. How about this
I
time?
like cookies.
Good job. Get yourself another cookie.
Mhm.
All right, just for fun, let's try this one last time. Does this word make you uncomfortable?
Don't know.
If I cover it up, can you read it?
Yeah. I like cookies.
Now can you read it? All right, well, let me just ask you this. If somebody at Young Women's brings around cookies, what can you say? Can you say what you just learned tonight? You don't have to say yum, but what could you say?
Nothing.
Nothing. Could you say, I like cookies?
I don't know.
You don't know if you'll be able to with somebody else?
I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.